Guys, Marsegan here bringing another Dragon Ball Z Dokkan battle video, and so today we are going to be taking a look at the Rainbow level 10 links, STR Piccolo and Gohan. They're going to be releasing on Global on Friday morning for me, UK time, Thursday evening if you're in US. Basically the normal time that banners come out, the same time the Rose banner came out, the same time the Super Battle Road stage came out on Monday morning for me, Sunday evening PST, that normal time. So I thought we would take a look at them. Rainbow level 10 links over on the JP side. We are running their team, so double leads for them. I have seen a lot of people since their release finding one of the most effective ways to use them just by having one of them on another team, because they can certainly be very useful, right? Like they provide Bond of Master and Disciple or Saiyan Saga characters 2 key attack and defense 30%. Then of course if they're in slot 3, they give superclass allies 1 key and 30% attack and defense for 3 turns. So if you float them off, not only do they give 60% support on that turn, but that 30% lasts for 3 turns. So it lasts all the way until they come back onto the rotation again, which is pretty crazy. They greatly raise attack and defense on their super, which is a 50% raise. They do get 2 key in attack and defense 150 start of turn. They get an additional attack boost up to 150 the more HP. So it's the less HP you have, the more damage they do. They get 100% on super. And then if they're in slot 1 or 2 and you have 70% or more HP, they get 40% damage reduction. And then obviously slot 3, they get that floating support. If HP is 70% or less at the start of the turn or from the 7th turn, they have a revive, where you revive with 70% recovered HP and exchange into Kid Gohan. Gohan then has the ability to go kind of crazy. A lot of people do like this unit because of how easy it is to get the revival. But we're going to try them out here. So I thought we would do something a little bit interesting, and we are doing the Red Zone Harudagan fight. Now, of course, this event is not out on Global. This will not be out on Friday when the unit comes out. However, the movie Bosses 2, Red Zone, starts to release before the anniversary. In fact, I believe it starts to release either with the Harudagan and Goku celebration or just after, as we move into the countdown, or at least how it went down on JP. But that does mean that this content will be out fairly soon on Global. Now, if I pull the unit when I do my summons and I do the 55% showcase and everything like that, we'll be taking them into all the different content that is available on Global. But I thought it would be interesting to do this showcase and just see how well they're actually able to perform in some of the content that is coming up on Global. Because if you're thinking about summoning for this unit, then obviously you want to see not only how good they are, and like I said, we'll do things like the 55% showcase on Global content, so you can see what they're like if you just pull the 1 copy, but this will allow you to see how good they are against content that is going to be upcoming in Global's future. Because, you know, the last thing you want is, especially with these kind of filler Dokkan Fests that are here to tempt you to summon for some of your favorite characters before big celebrations, you don't want to pull these guys, like dump a load of stones into their banner, and then all the content that comes out for like the rest of the year they're just completely useless in, right? Now, they have the potential to be pretty good, especially as a slot 2 unit, because they get their buff post super, and then of course they have the 40% damage reduction. Slot 1 is going to be a little bit more tricky for them potentially. It's actually a pretty good rotation, although I don't think, we can get those orange key spheres to drop down, can't we? As long as Harudagan doesn't immediately super, and no, we didn't. Amazing. Well, you do also have All in the Family, right? So we could just do that, and then we do this. Don't get a super for future Gohan, but I guess it is what it is. So we can get a super for Beast. As long as Harudagan doesn't super straight away, that's fine. 100k, bit much. But, I mean, we want to lose some HP anyway so we can see the Gohan revive. Because once you revive into the Piccolo, then... revive into Gohan with the active skill with Piccolo Sacrifice. Gohan does become a very interesting unit. For 1 turn especially, he is like a huge damage dealer. And if you have a Goku on the team, he also has a 100% chance to dodge on that turn. That's basically the sole reason why we have Kaioken Goku. Now, when it comes to Bond of Master and Disciple Gokus, there's not that many, especially that are like meta relevant. So I stuck with the LR Kaioken one because, of course, he is Saiyan Saga. Their leader skill is Bond of Master and Disciple or Saiyan Saga 170, and then Earthbred Fighters plus 30. So you can definitely make a team with a lot of Gohans and Trunkses and Piccolos that are going to be getting their full buff, which I think is quite good. And you can see here now we're going to get the guys in slot 1 here, and then because we have the other Piccolo and Gohan in slot 3, they are now providing that extra buff for 3 turns. So the next couple of turns are going to be looking very good. And if we get these guys in slot 3 on their next rotation, because of course we're floating off the friend one, right? So 2 turns from now, when we have our Gohan and Piccolo back, that buff from the friends support will still be active, the 30%. So then if we put our Piccolo and Gohan in slot 3 on that turn, they would then be providing 60% support. So you're going to end up getting quite a lot of support available within the 1 turn, which is very good. This isn't the greatest turn, I have to say, but I guess we can probably get away with this. I mean, Gohan has a lot of defense on this turn, so we'll do this. Do this. Get the STR orbs for Kaioken Goku. As long as Kaioken Goku... I should have targeted everyone on Hoi. I don't know why I didn't. Alright, so Gohan got hit, got a bit of a defense buff. Still takes 575, damn. Well, at least future Gohan's damage reduction is going to be active here. As long as Hoi doesn't super Kaioken Goku, then we should be okay. But that's pretty dicey. As long as he survives this turn, then obviously we can get the Gohan revival. Of course, his unit super is an AoE, so that's good. Sadly, though, we're not going to kill Hirudegarn, so it's not like Kaioken Goku can then kill Hoi. Yeah, definitely should have targeted everybody on Hoi. Especially forgetting that Gohan's unit super is an AoE. Probably could have just killed him. Gohan, well, future Gohan obviously tanks this because we're low enough HP to get the damage reduction. But yeah, as long as Hoi doesn't super, we should be fine. ×4. Decent damage from you. Oh, of course he did. Of course he did, because why wouldn't he? I mean, it wasn't even really that much damage, to be fair, considering type disadvantage, but alright, well, we'll jump back in. Typical. The one unit is always the way, isn't it? Slot 3, type disadvantage, it's like they know. I mean, that's the thing. Gohan, not the best slot 1 unit, the Int Gohan. I mean, when he's fully built up. I mean, I should just show you how hard these newer bosses are hitting, right? Because he started the turn 650k defense, still took 500k from a super. He already got hit 1 time before that from a normal that gave him a slight extra defense buff as well. So, shows you how hard some of these guys are hitting. I should have turned the animations off to go back into this. I don't think the revival animations don't get skipped, do they? Because obviously I don't want to miss out on the revive if Gohan, we end up getting the exchange with Gohan. But alright, we'll go ahead and throw these guys in slot 1 because they have the type advantage here over Hirudegarn. They have 40% damage reduction. We're linked up with Gohan. We've got 3 links. We've got 189k defense. So not a lot of defense, of course, but 40% damage reduction will kind of help patch that up a little bit. It's not the craziest though, so we're not going to be if we get supered in slot 1 we would take some damage, but tank the normal for double digits. They're dropping a 6.5 million attack stat here. They are greatly raising, remember, on their super, but that still only puts their defense up to what, we're not even getting to 300k, are we? Well, actually, they get 100% on super, I should say. So they had, what, like 180 something start of turn? So they get 100% on super. That means they go up to about 360. Then they get 50% of that from their super attack effect, which is actually like another 180. So they go up to, what, like 540, something like that, post-super, which then with 40% damage reduction, I mean, that's enough to tank basically all the normals apart from, like, the hardest anniversary bosses. So, like, on Global, post-super, they're going to be tanking normals perfectly fine. AoEs will be a potential issue for them, but at least if they are in slot 1 or 2, they are getting that extra damage reduction as well. So, but yeah, slot 1 AoEs will not be ideal for them. Especially because, you know, units like Zamasu, Omega, they have the Extreme versus Super, like, modifier as well. So not really ideal, but... Let's get rid of Hoi here. We'll get you to target... get you to target you just because you're a type advantage. And then I suppose we probably should get Kaioken Goku to target Hirudegarn for the same reason. But Ultimate Gohan actually able to get some ki. I mean, Ultimate Gohan definitely gets a great buff from these guys, right? Because they share all in the family, which is a good... they don't share all in the family, I should say. They're Bond of Master and Disciple unit, so they're giving him a lot of support. They have a couple of links together. I was going to say, despite not sharing all in the family, they can work quite nicely. But I think they're a unit that can fit very well onto other teams as a support. The only thing you've got to be really careful of is they only get that 40% damage reduction if they're in slot 1 or 2. So if we put them in slot 3, if we go by that previous turn where we were saying they're at like 540k defense post super, that's what they have with no damage reduction. Which then means, of course, if you get hit by a super from a boss in slot 3, any of these bigger bosses, they're going to be doing a significant amount of damage to these guys because they're not getting that damage reduction. So, what do we want to do here? Should we put them in slot 1 again? I suppose you probably should, although what's your defense start of turn? 652. I mean, we already know if we get supered in slot 1 on Gohan, we're going to take a crazy amount of damage. So, we don't really have an ideal slot 1 choice for this turn anyway. Now, I did give Gohan and Piccolo full dodge, and then the rest additional, because if you want to, you want to get that additional super, get the extra greatly raise. But other than that, like, there's not really, they're not on the team to do damage. Now, if you get the exchange into Gohan, they are going to be able to do some pretty big damage on that first turn. But that first turn, not only does it give them a very high attack stat, it also gives them guaranteed crit on that first turn. So the turn where you want them to be a damage dealer, they're going to get guaranteed crits. Now, they are dropping like an 8 million attack stat here, which is pretty good. And then after a double super, we should be tanking this quite nicely. Yeah, double digits. So that's the thing. They're not going to necessarily cut it as like a slot 1 unit, but post-supering, like you could easily run them as a slot 2 with the right rotations. Because remember, we got the in future Gohan is buffing Bond of Master and Disciple characters on this rotation as well. So we've got a decent amount of support here, as well as the few links that we have with the LR Gohan. So it's a pretty decent rotation for them. And yeah, we just have to avoid getting hit with a slot 1 super attack, basically. And then they can still be pretty good. So let's see what we got here. So we kept them on rotation last time. We probably should keep... Well, I mean, I want to keep them on rotation because we're trying to showcase them for the video, right? So with Piccolo, they share Brainiacs and Fierce Battle. Brainiacs is 15% attack and defense. That's pretty good. That's giving them, what, 198 start of turn. And then you guys have Infighter and Fierce Battle. And Infighter is just 15% attack. So obviously they link up better with Piccolo here in terms of defensive links, which is probably what we want more so than anything. And then we can go ahead and do this. So yeah, see 100k from a normal in slot 1 when we're not getting buffed with a lot of extra defense or support or anything. So this is what I'm saying, is you're not really going to want them to be a slot 1 unit. But I mean, once they've supered, then they're all good. And that's, perfectly fine for slot 1 and 2. It's if you're going to be floating them is, again, where you could kind of come across issues. Like on the stream when we were testing them out, I didn't want to do that event for the video because it's a bit too, like, it releases basically when the anniversary actually starts, so it's quite far away in Global's future. But we tried out the team versus the Red Zone Golden Frieza, and they take like 250k from normals from AGL Golden Frieza if they're floating in slot 3. So it's obviously not the most ideal scenario for them, but I mean, if you're going into a boss where the main phase, because let's be fair, the AGL Golden Frieza is like the main phase of that event. You're probably not going to be going into an event where the main phase of the boss is AGL and taking an STR unit who is not the best defensively. Now, slot 2 could be interesting for them to see how well they would perform against him, because again, post-super, if we're talking 540k defense, if they get another super after that, we're talking almost 800k defense with 40% damage reduction if they get an additional super. Then they'll be looking a lot better. But again, I don't know if that's enough to tank like a type disadvantage super from Golden Frieza. But obviously still would be much better But if you're floating them in slot 3 and using them as a support unit, that's where you have to be really careful, because they're just not going to be as good defensively as they will be in slot 1 or 2. Of course, because funnily enough, 40% damage reduction is better than 0% damage reduction. I know, who would have ever thought? But so we still haven't got the revive. What turn is it we can get to? Turn 7. Are we on turn 7 yet? We've got to be getting close. We're on turn 6. I don't want to use the orange Piccolo thing, because then it just stops the turn counter, which feels counterproductive to what we're trying to do. And if we do the if we use the giant form, then we will remove his ability to super attack, which kind of is annoying for the way the rest of this like plays out, right? Because we want him to super so that then we get to attack and do damage. So we'll do this. Hopefully we can take enough damage in this turn that we can just get the revive, although it's 7th turn from the start of battle. So the other Piccolo and Gohan are going to be able to have their revive up from the next turn anyway. So it doesn't really matter too much. We just have to make sure we get through this turn. Piccolo being able to attack first here is good, especially with the extra super as well. So I think we should be looking okay, because if Piccolo gets supered here, he should live. And then everybody else on the rotation tanks normals for double-digit damage. So I don't know how hard Hirudegarn actually hits for, but yeah, 210k. So we're fine. We're fine. And then, yeah, these guys get their super off. Decent enough defense, like I say, tank all normals for double-digit damage post-super if they're in slot 1 or 2. And then future Gohan, I think we lost enough damage for him to get his damage reduction, but we have type advantage anyway, so regardless, he should be fine. Yep, there we go. And now we can get the revive, if we need to, of course, because we might not actually die. But I think we want to... Let's go ahead and put you in slot 1 so you can get some hits. And then we'll leave future Gohan at the end. See if he gets us killed. I mean, this is the thing. We could end up beating this event without actually getting the revive, which would be kind of annoying. Now, in the more difficult events where people, you know, you want to run him, you want to get the revive, you want to get Gohan out, you can obviously take bigger risks. Like, I could have just put physical Ulma Gohan in slot 1 straight away, which would have probably been quite bad for us here. But I do want to win the event with the team as much as I want to see the Gohan turn. But it all depends how the turn plays out, because if he super attacks physical Gohan at the end anyway, we'll just probably die. He does super attack early though quite a lot, so I think next turn we'll probably just go ahead and put a weaker defensive unit in slot 1. I mean, Gohan took a bit of damage there despite having the type advantage, but everyone else on the rotation should tank normals for double-digit damage, even physical Ulma Gohan, because his intro buff has run out. I mean, if he does die, that's great. My only like disappointment thing with this unit, which I've said this before in the past about revive transformation units, is you get the revive, and so then they transform or exchange, or however you want to put it, right, into Gohan solo. But then you go on to the next turn, like the next rotation, so you don't actually get to see the Gohan. So if we do, see, again, like, I want to put Kaioken Goku in slot 1, but I also don't really want to keep Kaioken Goku on rotation. So I guess we will do... Let's do this. Let's not get a super... Well, you're going to get hit and get a super. Then we'll do this. And then we'll do this. So we should die here. If he supers slot 1, I don't know if Piccolo, now that his buff has run out, I don't know if he would live a super. Also, Kaioken Goku is not the tankiest unit. You know, he's probably going to be a bit of a liability in the harder content. But... Right, there we go. Alright, so we get our revival. This animation is absolute peak. This is like, this animation is the best thing about this unit, 100%. It just looks so good. But yeah, it means we now have to wait until next turn to see Gohan's crazy turn, which Means we have to make sure we survive this next rotation. Alright, Gohan's mad now. Alright, so we should be able to do okay with this. I don't want to do too much damage though, that's the problem. Hopefully he doesn't super first, because then Gohan won't do that much damage to him. So if we do this, and then we do this. Well, actually, I guess it doesn't matter if we heal now, does it? I should have just grabbed same type orbs before this. Oh, we've got the Dokkan attack. Okay, he didn't super. So I'm not going to hit the nodes here, so we won't do much bonus damage. Hirudegarn doesn't take a lot of damage until he super attacks. So hopefully this shouldn't do too much. That looks so funny with his asset, because it's so big, but still so small in comparison to Gohan. Part of it like clips over him, which makes it look like he's in the foreground, which then makes it look hilarious that he's so much smaller than him. Oh, don't kill him. Could you imagine we finally get Gohan out and then we don't actually get to see him do anything? Because we're going to have him on the next turn. Because, yeah, once you transform into Gohan, he gets similar stats like Key 2, attack defense 150, attack and defense 100 when performing a super. But then if HP is 58% or more when performing a super, you get additional 100% attack. Then for the one turn only, you get Key 12 and attack and defense 300% and a guaranteed crit. And then, yeah, you get 100% dodge on that first turn if you have a Goku on the team, which we do. So, obviously we can throw him over here. His links don't change, so he still has Brainiacs with Piccolo. Piccolo now gives us the full heal as well, which means we're all good. Well, actually, I don't know. I don't think our HP was low. Oh, our HP wasn't that low, and then we got the Dokkan, didn't we? So the Dokkan attack, regardless of not having a huge thing, not having a huge amount of damage, will still have healed us to full. So Gohan only has 176k defense start of turn. He gets a ton on super, but he loses all those other things like the damage reduction in slot 1 and 2. So, like, if you don't have a Goku on the team, it'd be super risky to put him in slot 1, but obviously we do. So we're on the full HP, so he's getting the full buff because he gets that extra 100% one as well. So he's doing a 16.4. Now that's with 2 links active and no support. He does a 16 million attack stat with a guaranteed crit, and of course has a 100% chance to dodge. So he's just going to dodge all those hits. Obviously, the damage-wise, we would have done a lot more if Hirudegarn didn't have this gimmick where he needs to super attack first. But, I mean, there you go. Let me know what you guys think. In some of the harder events on Global, it's probably not going to be very difficult to get his revive out. But at the same time, you don't want it to come out too early, because you do want to get that big nuke turn. After the first turn, he has a... what is it? It's high chance to dodge if there's a Goku on the team instead of guaranteed. And then he gets attacked effective against all types from turn 3, but obviously no longer gets that massive 300% buff. So let me know what you guys think down below in the comment section. They seem like they're good enough, but I mean, I'll do a video tomorrow talking about their banner in more detail and things like that. But with everything we know that's coming up on Global, and then the unknowns like Saiyan Day and Golden Week, I don't really know if this is a unit that's worth going crazy to try and get, but let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section. So that is going to be it for the video, guys. This has been the Masked Ningen. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you are new. Check out the links down below for the Discord and the merch store, and I will see you all again soon. Have a good one.